guys, how's it going? Today I thought we could just sit down and do a really quick look if you've got to go to a party, and the product that we'll be focusing on to achieve that is the Stila Glitter and Glow eyeshadows. So you've probably heard of these before. They're super popular. Basically they're just liquid eyeshadows, and these ones are glittery. The shimmer don't have so much chunky glitter in them. They're more just like the overall kind of gloss. They dry down, super opaque, super pretty. I'm just gonna swatch the colors for you so you can see. So I bought these in a trio at their minis. Yeah, they're pretty cool products. Oh God, they're beautiful. Like honestly, like that is just ridiculous. They're gorgeous. So that's Rose Gold Retro, Smouldering Satin, and Kitten Karma, which is a really popular color. So I think for today we're probably going to use Smouldering Satin because I've used it probably the least of the three. So basically this look is like you've got to get out the door, you've got 15-20 minutes to do it, and you want to look good. Like you're going to a party, like you want to make it a bit up. Maybe you're going to like a cocktail party or something and you want to basically look like you went and got your makeup done but you didn't. And let me tell you, I get more compliments when I do this than I do using any other product, honestly. Because it's a bit of a party look, I'm using my Illuminating primer from Mecca, which is literally like almost done. Super excited about that. Nothing too special, but it's like a pearlescent liquid one. It's not hydrating, it's not hydrating. I'm trying to finish it off because it does make me break out just a little bit. So I try to avoid using products like that. Like I've already got a bit of a breakout going on already, so just a bit to hide. Great. So does anyone else like wipe their hands on their legs when they do their makeup? Because I do that all the time. Cool. So I'm just going to do my eyebrows very quickly because they're almost okay. I'm not precious about this. I legit just like drag this through. And the good thing is you can kind of wipe it off a little bit to like clean up the bits where you want a bit more precision. Normally I'd give it like a bit of a brush as well. Find that first half of my brow. Honestly, like if you're in a hurry, just don't skip this step. Never skip this step. Cool. So we're gonna also use the foundation that was in our project pan. So the focus of this is just like nailing down the base. What we're doing with the eyes isn't going to be too complicated. So, yeah, I did that, didn't I? I was going to put it on my hand, but of course, the glitter on my hand. Oh yeah, that's the one thing. Like this will like crack glitter all over your life. So just be prepared if you don't like your face to have little sparkles over it, then don't use this. Like it's probably not for you. Maybe go for the shimmery versions because they're a bit less. So I'm just going to take a small amount. This is the Maybelline Fit Me in the Dewy and Smooth rather than the Matte and Poreless. I'm just going to use a brush, stipple it in. I give it a bit of a buff and then a bit of a push. Oh, so I don't know about you guys, but I am very, very over summer already, and we're just like just at the halfway point. So really, we're getting to the hot part now. Like, I don't cope well in the heat. I don't know. And I just don't like how it makes my makeup come off. It doesn't make me feel like I am living my best life, that's all. Oh. So I've been thinking about the kind of videos that I'd probably like to put out on this channel. I have some good ideas. I think the first sort of recurring program type series that we'll have is a bit of a beauty maths, so I'm probably going to film that after this. That's mostly just about focusing on like the value that you get buying certain sizes and things, and just kind of decoding a bit of that and doing a bit of the guesswork for, or rather taking the guesswork out of it for people. So I do love this foundation. I probably mentioned it in my Get Ready With Me or in my Project Pan video, that the only thing that really bugs me about it is the fact that it's like this bottle and it's not got a pump. Cool. I don't know about you guys, but do you feel like the space between your eyes like sets faster than the makeup elsewhere, such as me? I don't know. I think I'm just crazy sometimes. Who knows? I was gonna go over that with a sponge. Like, I know that seems super strange, but I just like to gently, I think it kind of just makes sure that if it wasn't like in your skin before, then it is now, and it just adds. This is not like 100% full coverage. You can see there's a bit, I've got a bit of my pink sort of bits poking through. That doesn't bother me so much because I kind of prefer it to look a bit like my skin, so I don't go too crazy with that. Great. So, under eyes, using the Nars Creamy Matte, Soft Matte, not Creamy Matte, that doesn't make sense. Just really concentrating this on my darkest patches under my eyes. I have quite like sunken eyes, so it's kind of hard to bring that out. I could use like a much lighter concealer, but with the skin color I have, there's not often that many colors. Like, this is already number 2 in their range, so and the number 1 isn't actually a lighter shade, it's just a different undertone, so it doesn't really help with the brightening too much. I do find that the creamy one, because it's just liquid and you can kind of bring it down and buff it out, you do get a bit more of that brightening effect, and I do like that, especially when you're going out. So I think, yeah, just with the party look in mind, you want to make sure that you're 100% confident, because that's really what it's about, isn't it? Like, you want to feel like you look good. And if you feel that, then you'll be that. So I'm just taking what's left on my finger over my eye socket, because we're about to do our eyes after this, and that way we're all good to go. Great. Cool. There's 2 schools of thought on the setting of the eyes when you put on your base to do your eyeshadow. Personally, like, I normally set it, but I don't know, I don't think it's like a deal breaker. So I'm just taking the Maybelline Fit Me Loose powder in the shade Light. I'm just using a brush. I've only tried this a couple of times, it's new, and the last time I used a sponge, and I think it just made me feel like a little bit crusty under the eye. So I'm just gonna set under the eye, and then I just make sure I go over my eye as well. Focus on the side of the nose a bit, really picking that up in there. Not being too precious about it. It's not, you know, it's not rocket science. Just powder. Yes, that's much better. I'm not gonna set my whole face at this stage. I'm just gonna kind of touch my nose a bit, and then I'm going to do my eyes. So, oh, powder, that's quite finely milled. So for my eyes today, we are using the Nubian by Juvia's Place to give us just the base shade. But essentially all you need is 1 or 2 browns, like a cool tone and a warm tone, depending on what you prefer. And that's it. That's literally it. So just checking my brush is sort of clean. It has a lot of yellow on it. Gross. Like, you can tell I don't clean my brushes because of that. So I'm just going to pick up this taupey, it's not really taupe, it's quite a warm brown, and on my skin it's quite light as well. I'm just going to buff that into the crease and then kind of wash it down onto the lid. That's all. Perfect. Buff it in. Just windscreen wiper motions, and then just down like that. We're going to do a second, so just like a couple of dabs. Windscreen in, down. So these eyeshadows, if you haven't tried them, I really recommend you do. You can buy them on Beauty Bay and in Australia, and also, ooh, there's another one, Black Swallow. So they're both just like sort of authorized resellers in the market, which is great because honestly, if you haven't gotten to try these eyeshadows out, you are missing out. So I'm just going to take the slightly darker brown, just be a bit more careful with it, just really concentrate that on the eyelid, but like the outer half of it. That makes sense. We're just trying to kind of make it a bit dark. In fact, we're going to take this shade, blend it over the lid completely, and then just, you know, into this section of the crease. Just really focus. Don't panic if it starts to look a bit like messy. It's okay. You can honestly fix almost anything with these eyeshadows. They blend so beautifully. And this is just also a really good option for like an everyday look. Just if you stopped here, just with those two shades, it takes like 5 minutes, and it just gives you something that you wouldn't have if you just left your eyelids bare. So just think about it. Just try it once this week. So now that we've got our base laid down, just get, if you have like a flat brush, sort of like this one. So maybe I shouldn't use this one because it has green on it. Like, honestly, like, I'm a bit of a tragic. I just probably need more brushes, but whatever. I'm going to take that dark brown we just used, very gently smudge it on the lower lash line. This is another step that just like gives you something that you didn't have before. So if you've not tried this, I thoroughly encourage you to do so. And the more you put down there and like blow it out, like make a real like sort of smoky eye, the more forgiving it is on your under eyes. So because you're kind of like covering it up with color, the one rule is remember to sweep it up and connect it with that eyeshadow up there. Otherwise your look just does not have any cohesion. So just blend it up. Super smoked. If there's any sort of patchiness or you think it doesn't look quite right, I just like to give it a run around the whole look to just kind of even out any zones that just don't really scream. Oh, there we go. So, okay, perfect. I don't know where I was going with that, so let's just completely just forget about that. And so, as you can see, it's nothing too crazy. It's just super, super warm, super neutral, nothing wild. And so now you take your Stila liquid. So this one was the shade Smouldering Satin again, just in case. So you can rub this off onto a brush and then use the brush to apply it, or you can use this applicator. Usually I would use a brush, but today I think I'm just trying to make it as simple as I can in terms of like tools. So we're just gonna go in. So just be careful, it's shaped like this. So we're gonna focus, but weirdly it's like not aligned with how you would hold the brush square. So it's kind of like on an angle. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna line with this. So we're not gonna put it, you can put it all over your lid and that looks equally amazing, but we're trying to just kind of give it a hint. So I'm gonna keep my eye open and do the second half first, just very gently at first, just touching it over the lash line. You do have to wait for it to dry, so just remember that. Just gently making a line, and now we're going to do the first half. Build it up as we go. There. So that's one coat. So we'll just do the other eye, wait for it to dry, and then I normally like to do two just to keep it nice and opaque. So starting in the middle, using the edge, very gentle. It's quite forgiving though, in the sense that if you kind of go outside the lines, the color matches the eyeshadow we put on fairly well. So you're not gonna have any problems thinking that, like, with people thinking that, you know, did a really shitty job basically. So that's it, just like that. Super simple, but it kind of just brings like that little bit of sparkle to your look that you might not have had otherwise. And it just makes it feel that little extra bit special, and people will think that you have spent ages like blending eyeshadows, and honestly it took 5 minutes. Not hard at all. So this is like a nice look for the summer as well, especially if you don't want to wear like a black liner. Alternatively, you can put a black liner on underneath, or you could do this all over the lid and then do your standard eyeliner over the top. But I kind of think this is a bit fun. And in fact, I'm going to take it a bit on the lower lash line as well. Just rubbing it in there. Just on the outer half, just to give it that extra bit of sparkle. Perfect, great. So that's the finished look for the eyes. All we need is a bit of mascara, but first I'm going to finish on my face and then give it a spritz and come back to that. So for the rest of the face, what we're going to do is use, let's bronze. So we're going to go back into this Hourglass palette that I've mentioned before. I just mixed the two sort of brownie shades to make like a lighter bronzer. Just trying to warm up my face. It's quite warm toned. So the whole look is fairly warm toned, and this will just kind of accentuate that. So like I've said before, this isn't about being perfect or doing everything, you know, like you are an artist and you're amazing and you should be doing makeup professionally. This is about being able to do your own makeup in a way that pleases you. So don't take everything too seriously. Like if you hate bronzer, don't wear bronzer. Like if you are a contour queen, go ahead and contour. I don't contour all that often because I just don't really like it. I actually saw Wayne Goss's great video where he did like his blush, like it was like he used his blush like the bronzer, and honestly it was stunning. So I think that's probably enough in terms of the bronze. Just give this a bit more definition in my face. Perfect. So blush. For blush, I'm going to be using a separate, this is the Ambient Lighting Blush in Dim Infusion. It's sort of a corally pinky kind of color. Like all of their blushes, it's got that that sheen, the shimmery bits in it, and it's just beautiful. I love it. Like honestly, I would bathe in this thing. Oh, and some people don't love these because of that finish that it gives you, and that's fine. It doesn't have to be for everyone, but it is just, to me, like I love a good bit of blush. And I'm actually gonna do the Wayne trick and just get it up here on my temples, kind of, and then so now it looks like I have weird blush haunts. So what I do is I go back with my powder brush, just blend that out a bit, and I'm gonna let my hair down so it'll look fine in the end. It just kind of looks a bit like I have a pink forehead, which, you know, normally I do, so that's fine. And then for highlighter, I'm also going to be using the champagne color from this palette because it is just my favorite and it's in my project pan. So I'm really trying to make that giant hole a little bit more holy. And I use this kind of brush because it gives like a much more intense application. So these highlighters are great though because they are a bit more sort of natural, so I don't feel like if I overdo it that I'm going to look a bit, you know, ridiculous, especially if your friends don't really get as into this as you do and you feel just a bit out of place. And you'll notice that I'm just kind of taking it up here, so really like the whole side of your face kind of has that glow. And then because we kept the eye look quite matte, I just dust it here on the back half just to kind of give it a bit of a pop. Great. And then of course the nose. This is how I like to do it. And then I do my chin. Perfect. God, oh my god, I could like bathe in this stuff. It's honestly like it gives me life in a way that you could not imagine. Perfect. So next I'm just going to give it a spritz and kind of take away, I didn't really pat it down too much, but I just like a bit of a refresher. Cool. Spread a lot of that. And then normally I take my sponge, just check that that was absorbed 100% and really push the product to melt into my skin and lift off any excess of what's left. And then the last step for me is mascara. I do this after my finishing spray because I find that it doesn't, I find that the finishing spray doesn't, it causes my mascara to kind of melt if it's not like 100%. And you'll notice I'm not doing falsies for this. This is a really kind of light, fresh look. And often, like I really don't wear them very often except for like special occasions like weddings and things. Like that's not really what I'm about. Like I'm more of an everyday kind of makeup gal, so you won't see me applying false lashes very often. But I am going to a wedding next month and I'm going to take you through sort of a wedding look on location, which will be fun. And I'm looking forward to that. So we'll see. This mascara is just an Essence one. It's not the Lash Princess. I thought I'd try one of their others. And if you're looking for an inexpensive mascara, they honestly, like, I've tried a lot of high-end ones, or not a lot, but a few. I am one of those few people who just does not rate Better Than Sex. I was diehard about the They're Real mascara, but then it was just like really irritating my eyes and I wasn't super into that. Yeah, so this one I just find is really simple. It works really well. Great, so last step, some lip gloss and we're good to go. Just putting on a pink one. My Napoleon is in my project pan, so I'm basically not going to use another gloss for the next couple of months. Really focus on finishing this up because it's definitely over the hill, but you know, what are you going to do? Great, and there you have the finished look. Just gonna let this out, whatever this situation is. give it a bit of a... I hope you enjoy this look and there's something you can kind of take from this. As an alternative, I'm just going to grab this really quickly and show you what it would look like if we just took it all over the lid. If you wanted to kind of up the intensity, just give it a bit more glow. Go with the shape of your eyes and you can see the difference. It just kind of takes it from something that's a bit more like casual and to something that's a bit more intense. And I opened my eyes too quickly, so it kind of, you need to wait for it to dry. So anyway, thanks for stopping by and I'll see you in another video.